Wall Street now, where stocks jump on the news. President Trump called off tariffs on European allies and reached a, quote, framework of a future deal on Greenland. The Dow shot up 588 points, of the S&P 500. As you can see, big players in AI like in the tech world will take the stage, and Google popped into the green today. Now, the gains come as leaders in the tech world will take the stage at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. A hot point of discussion, how AI will impact jobs. The CEO of Anthropic says it could be a matter of months until AI can do all the same tasks as a software engineer.
We are now, in terms of, the models that write code, I have engineers within Anthropic who say, I don't write any code anymore. I just let the model write the code. I edit it. I do the things around it. I don't know, we might be 6 to 12 months away from when the model is doing most, maybe all of what SWEs do end to end. And then it's a question of how fast does that loop close?
Okay, so Anthropic CEO is basically, letting everyone know that, even within his own company, software engineers are utilizing AI to write the code, and they just go in and make modifications here or there to edit the code. But AI is pretty much doing a brunt of the work for them. So, can't say we didn't see this coming. A lot of the AI models can spit out computer programming languages for you and code for you, with where you ask it to do certain prompts and things of that nature. So this is not a real big shocker. And there's, basically saying they're about 6 to 12 months away from AI doing, the complete software engineer's job, which I think they're more than likely already there, and it may not take, 6 to 12 months. But, this is going to be the thing with AI, because, you have language learning models and machine learning models that, they soak in the information. So all the programming that these programmers have done over, the course of time, all the information and data has been fed into the AI, and the AI is able to utilize that data in order to, write code and write programs. And it's going to definitely change the landscape of STEM. And it's going to create new jobs, of course, but a lot of skills that you may have needed before, as far as like maybe you still want to have a basic knowledge of programming languages, but you may not need as advanced of that knowledge as you might have needed before, because again, the AI is going to be able to write the code for you. Just may have to go in and modify a few things, because at this point, AI is a useful tool, but it's not 100% accurate in a lot of situations. It's getting a lot better. So for some, it's going to be very scary. For others, they're going to be able to adapt and figure out a way that they can work side by side with AI in order to keep themselves employed, because the last thing you would want to do is to lose your job to something that you helped build.
Let's bring in Bloomberg News reporter Sarah Freer. Sarah, you've been covering big tech for years now. This is a huge deal. Can you help explain to our audience what Anthropic CEO's comments mean for big tech and engineers and, frankly, the average American?
Well, it's really just a striking change. A lot of us, for the last few years have been hearing learn to code. Engineering is going to be the one career stable path. STEM paths are going to be the best. But I think that's really changing. I think a lot of what we're hearing from in Davos, CEOs are saying we actually really need plumbers, electricians. We need people who can do these vocational roles that involve physical labor, or at least tangible work that a computer program cannot do. And we also need critical thinking. So I think we're going to see a lot of jobs that simply edit what AI has produced, as at least that's what we're being told in Davos over the last couple of days, and that will strikingly reshape the U.S. workforce and globally.
As you were just saying, jobs like plumbing, electricians, and carpentry work, these vocational type of skills or jobs that you can just go to like a technical or vocational school and get these skills. these type of jobs are, at this point not at risk of, being taken over, by a computer or AI, to do these. These are physical jobs. So kind of going back to that, these are jobs that people kind of like shied away from, and that's how a lot of people from other countries were able to come over here and establish themselves and get themselves really going, because they're able to do these jobs like remodeling apartments and doing any type of handyman work. I mean, it's a takeover at these apartment complexes as far as maintenance and the people that they call on to do the job. A lot of them, in my experience, have been, Latinos. They that's who's getting these positions now. Like the maintenance for a lot of these apartment complexes and stuff like that. They're Latino descent. Um, and they're making real good money doing so. So there has to be a little shift as far as like the advice that you give to people, as far as like young people who are, just getting out of school and going into the workforce or deciding on college and stuff like that. Look, a lot of these college degrees, man, are just really a waste of time and a waste of money, because it's going to be artificial intelligence that's going to be able to do some of these jobs. And again, you can get you a job to where you're going to be editing what the AI does, but what I see forecasted is that these jobs are going to pay way less than those engineers that were making that type of money before AI became as big of a boom as it has became. So.
Yeah, and Sarah, the NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang echoed what you just mentioned. He had a very different message on how AI will shape the job market. He says AI is only going to create jobs. Take a listen to what he had to say.
This is the largest infrastructure build out in human history. That's going to create a lot of jobs. And it's wonderful that the jobs are related to tradecraft. And we're going to have plumbers and electricians and construction and steel workers and network technicians and people who install and fit out the equipment, and all of these jobs. We're going to, in the United States, we're seeing quite a significant boom in this area. Salaries have gone up nearly double.
Yeah, and Sarah.
So that's a different contrast as far as what I was just speaking on. He's saying salaries has gone up. So it's going to be certain positions, of course, that's going to be created. It's a lot of semiconductor chip companies that are building here in the United States now. But again, you have to have the skills in order to do those type of jobs. So electricians that learn how to put together and weld or solder electrical components, they'll be able to get those jobs. Also, with all this AI and data, you're going to need professionals that are going to be able to secure it. And so I mean, it's going to definitely be opportunities out there, but it's also going to take opportunities away. So you have to be aware of that.
I'm assuming other tech leaders at Davos are sharing this similar stance, but is it enough to quell fears that AI could lead to massive job loss?
Well, no, I also think that for the AI data center build out, of course you need those electricians and construction workers, but once those data centers are built, they really don't require very many people to operate them. So, there may be an initial job boom, but then technology may advance further. We don't need as much of the data centers to keep it going, or there may be new advances in the actual AI field. So we really just don't know, but what we do know is that there is a reshaping right now of the global order, of the priorities of all of these companies, of the way that they are seeking power and resources. They are becoming more geopolitical forces than they've ever been, because the AI race has become so central to, will the U.S. lead on the world stage in the next big tech boom?
In an interview with Bloomberg News, your organization, the Anthropic CEO, also warned about the risks of American companies selling AI chips to China. He called it a, quote, big mistake. Take a listen to that.
Now, indeed, there are some policies, and I hope they change their mind, to, to explicitly send not quite our latest generation of chips, although it was reported that even that was being considered, but, the generation of chips that's just one back, that's still extremely powerful. And we are many years ahead of China in terms of our ability to make chips. So I think it would be a big mistake to ship these chips.
Now, Sarah, these comments come as Trump loosens regulations around chip exports. Tell us more about the arguments for and against selling these chips to China.
Well, he went on to say that it would be equivalent to giving nuclear weapons to North Korea. That was Amadei's analogy there. This is something that a lot of leaders are saying is very central to the AI race. Is not just that the U.S. succeeds, but that the U.S. succeeds more quickly than China. And Europe, for its part, is not really a leader here. And Europe heard from executives, including Microsoft Satya Nadella, about the fact that they haven't really put their horse in the race. They don't have a company at the size of anything coming out of the U.S. or China. So it really is a moment for global leaders to look at the companies and think, like, how does that set our economy up for the future? What does it mean if China is able to excel as quickly as, or eventually faster than, the U.S.? And how can we prevent that from happening? So a lot of tech executives in the U.S. are hoping that President Trump will have a sort of U.S. first mentality in his thinking about the AI companies and whether they get regulated.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to, look at that, and we don't want to be last or in second place when it comes to this whole thing because, again, AI is pretty powerful, and we, in my opinion, we are in the silent cyber war again with China. So yeah, I mean, she said enough, and let me know in the comments what you guys think as far as AI. How it can shape the job markets, and um, what you guys think as far as like us, not necessarily giving our latest chips over or trading them with China, but the chips beforehand, and you never know, they may be able to use those chips, put a few of them together, and start advancing quicker than we are in the whole AI race. So just let me know what you guys think. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.